channel. Now today, obviously I'm not wearing makeup, I just don't feel like wearing makeup today, so sorry. Also I got a really bad neck, so if I'm ever like pushing into it, it's because it's just really painful. So I'm going to be doing a story time today, so let's just get straight into it. So the first one is to do my GCSEs. Now this took place in year 11, I believe, so it would have been 3 years ago roughly, 3 to 2 years. So let's get straight into it. So GCSEs is the time where you sit down and you do your exams, which then at the end of your school year you get a result. So like, for example, an A or a B or a C or D. So I don't know if they're called something else in America or in different countries, but they're called GCSE each year. And then you go on to do A levels or college, so I done college. Anyway, that's not the story. So basically, your compulsory GCSEs are maths and English. They are compulsory, and also science, but some people will do BTEC science. So for example, I done BTEC science in year 10, which is the first year of GCSEs and your exams, but because I got such a low grade, I'm pretty sure I had an E or an F even, I got put into BTEC science. And what BTEC science is, now this does relate with the story, so that's why I'm explaining it. So BTEC science is, BTEC is basically like, okay, let me just do BTEC science because it's easier. But BTEC science, you wouldn't have to do an exam. So, you know, you learn all these stuff, do everything, and then you have an end of year exam. End of year, I would class that. But if you're on BTEC, so for example, my class, we learned everything, and as we go along, we would do modules and coursework. We would do it all in the lesson, just hand it in, and that would be equivalent to an exam. So you would have a timetable for your exams. So for example, I may have had my textile exam on a Tuesday at 9 AM, and we had 2 different places in our school that we done the exams. So this took place in the sports hall, or sports barn we called it. It was kind of like a barn. When you go in through the double doors, you have changing rooms, one for the boys and one for the girls. And you go through another double doors, and you basically had like a basketball court, and we had like a basketball court and other courts all in one place, if that makes sense. As you go in, on the wall where the double doors are, you'll have A to whatever letter it was. I think it was K or L. And then going up the side would be 1 to like 20 something, I think it was. So I done business studies, IT, textiles. Those are my 3 optional exams. So like, and then I had to do maths, English. I think that's it. Because the rest were BTEC. So I done BTEC Performing Arts and BTEC Science. So this day was a science exam. And I walked in, bearing in mind that I am doing BTEC Science. So I walked in, I sat down in my seat, you know, had everything out ready, and I was ready to go. I had done loads of revision the night before and everything, so I sat down, and this girl, I'm not sure of her name, I can't remember who it was, but this one girl came up to me, she's like, look, you're in my seat, and I was like, pretty sure this is my seat, and I was determined that I was right. I was like, no, this is definitely my seat. So obviously it's an exam, so if there's any complications like seats and all that, you have to get a teacher to sort it out. So my teacher came over and was like, oh, what exam are you sitting? And I was like, IT. And he was like, well, this isn't an IT exam, this is a science exam. And I was like, right. Is it something like, are you doing BTEC science or GCSE science? I think, not GCSE science, but like the exam. And I was like, BTEC science. He was like, well, you shouldn't be in here then. And he was like, your IT exam is next week. And I was like, well, so, you know, that drew a bit of attention to myself, didn't it? Like, people were looking, thinking, what the hell is going on? So I just got up and I left, and they keep one of the doors locked. I don't know why they do, they just do. So I ended up trying to open the locked door, and I drew so much attention to myself, it was very embarrassing. But the thing is, I kind of like just walked into it. You know how when like you have your arms out, not further away, like closer to you, so I ended up like going bang into it. Hilarious. And then I saw my friends Sophie and some of our other like older friends. I say older friends, I mean like people I don't speak to anymore. But, like, you know, all the friends I had like used to talk like, oh my god, I can't speak. All the friends I had that were doing GCSE science were there, and they were like, what the hell are you doing here? I was like, I'll explain to you after. It was very embarrassing, like so embarrassing. Yeah, so this one I just wanted to throw in really quickly because while saying the last one, which you haven't seen yet, while saying the last story, this one just popped in my head, so I wanted to tell you guys, so then it makes it up to 3. So basically, my mum used to work in a place called the Courthouse, which isn't there anymore. Now, I want to do a video on there really soon actually, because she's had experiences there in paranormal and everything like that. And it's got some really interesting history as well actually, and it's been redone out now and everything, so it's a different place now. And I really wanted to go there while it was still the Courthouse. So basically, just get a little bit of information for you. The Courthouse is basically, it was a restaurant slash pub. And my mum was a waitress there. I think she was a waitress, I can't remember. I was so little. But before it was that, it used to be a courthouse, which if you don't know is basically, I think you go there to see if you're going to go to jail or not, and I'm pretty sure there's jails there, and apparently it's haunted by 2 people, a policeman who isn't nice, and Charlie, who, well, they nicknamed him Charlie because he was a lovely ghost, he's very playful and everything. So, and I believe I've had an experience there. That's basically, I can't remember what I've just said, so I'm just going to leave the history there. But now it's owned by somebody else. I think it's still a restaurant, I'm not too sure. Anyway, so my mum was working, so me and my dad were going to pick her up. And where the courthouse is, if you go up the road behind it, there's a train station. So we used to wait there because when I was younger I used to like looking at trains, which is really funny because I don't like trains anymore. But yeah, so we were watching the trains go by, and this was one of our really older cars. It had a thing, and I don't know how to explain it. You know when you plug your phone and everything in the car, you have to put that pluggy into the hole? Does that make sense? And then you put the lead in the plug that goes in the hole. Well, we had one of those. I don't know why, but I used to like touching it. I used to like put my finger in it. I don't know why. So this one day, I put my finger in and I had electric shock. And I remember it really hurt. So we had a water bottle and I had to put my finger in the water bottle. I am not a normal human being. Like, there's some stuff I've done in the past. Like, I fell off a swing and landed on my face. Ow, why would I want to do that? Like, I've done some weird stuff as a child. And I've definitely going to be doing this in all of my videos. Whatever one I name the title will be the last story. So this is the title. And let's just get straight into it. So, in my room, I have my plug sockets, which are right by my bed. They was actually in my old room. I had my plug sockets, which were right by my bed. So if you think of it, so this is the wall, here, and I had my bed like this way, so against the wall, and I had 2 plugs for there. It doesn't really make sense, but let's hope it does. So I had like curlers or hair straighteners plugged in for some reason. I think because sometimes when I was back in school, I'd curl my hair the night before if I wanted it done for the day, because it was just easier for me. So I was also doing something with my hair, either during the day or in the evening, I can't remember. We were also having our bathroom like done. I think we were having a heater installed or something. I can't exactly remember, but we were having something done in there, so there was wires out, like live wires out, which is quite dangerous. So I took out the plug out of the socket, and the tongy bits, I'll show you. So like these bits, where you plug it like into, ow that hurts, but you plug it into the wall, if you get what I mean. They got stuck into the plug. And I was like, brilliant. Like, I used that plug to charge my phone, so I was like, I need to get it out, because the other one next to it didn't work at all. So I was like, right, well, I need to get this out, don't I? Because I need to charge my phone. So I turned off the switch, and bearing in mind, I never knew like how electric, like all of that stuff worked, and now I know what to do in this situation. So I turned off well, I thought I turned the right plug off, but I obviously didn't. I turned the one next to it off because it was a double one. So if you don't know what I mean, like, I'm pretty sure you do know what I mean, but just in case you don't, like, this is the plug socket, and you have one plug thing here, one plug thing here, and you have 2 switches there. Yeah, so I had one of those, so I turned the wrong plug switch off. I don't know how I done that, but I did. So then I got some tweezers. You can all see where this is going by the title anyway. And I tried to get it out, and I had one of the biggest electronic shock, that's what it's called, isn't it?
A few moments later.
I had the biggest electric shock of my life. Like, you know how you have little ones now and then? No, this one, I'm not being over dramatic. I could not feel my, like, I don't know what part of this. Is this your arm as well? Because, like, your leg, you have your thigh and then your calf. No, you have your calf and then your thigh. So this is just an arm? Well, I couldn't feel this part of my arm and my wrist and all that. So I went down and I told my dad, like, I just had electric shock. And he was like, oh, it's probably just the wires, like, no big deal, whatever. And I think the next day or something, I told him that there was something stuck in my plug, and he was like, is that how you got the electric shock? I was like, yeah. But I hope you enjoyed this story time, and if you do, make sure to leave a big thumbs up. Let me know if you've ever been electrocuted. I think that's the word I was looking for earlier. Let me know if you've ever been electrocuted, or some embarrassing stories from your childhood. I'd really love to read them. But yeah, so I will see you. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I really want to, I think it's just going up after my birthday, but I really want to get to 400 subs. Like, my dream is to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can go to the YouTube space and film there. But yes, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Just a touch of your love is enough to knock me up.